Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I am Gerry. Max and Terry are here. See, I'm playing around with a possible rhyme there with Gerry and Terry, you know? Just kind of did that little pause. Yeah, I'm working it out. It's not perfect.
You've been threatening to do that for weeks. You need to fix it.
That's what I did just then. I said, I'm Gerry, Max and Terry are here. You see that? Yeah, it's that poetic pause. I gotta perfect that.
Needs work.
Well, yeah. The whole act, Terry. The whole act needs work, brother. So we decided it'd be a good idea to talk about somebody who's been performing week in, week out. Hasn't done anything to suggest we should drop him anytime soon. And he's not even an Everton player. He's on loan from Chelsea. Has slotted in nicely in the back. Kurt Zouma, a young French player. So, Max, give us some thoughts about his performances so far, Max.
It's been really interesting because you go back to when you remember when Sam Allardyce first come in, and his first kind of judgment call was to stabilise Mason Holgate and Ashley Williams in the middle of the fence. And although it worked for a while, it soured and became this kind of almost like a Sunday league kind of centre back partnership. Whereas I think with Kurt Zouma, he hasn't just got this physical ability about him. He's also got a technical ability about him. You see the amount of times he wants to play football. He wants to play out from the back. It's not just clearing his lines like it would have been under Allardyce. It's breaking through the lines. It's breaking into the midfield. It's just distributing the ball out to the wide players or to players that are running into space. And from that perspective that he's a lone player, it frustrates, as you say, it frustrates you already because you're like, oh, we already know it's not a view to buy. So what's that negotiation process going to be like at the end of the season? Because you can, given his performances and the kind of relationship that's blossomed with Michael Keane, you can already tell that we're going to be interested in trying to make that signing a permanent signing. And not just for his sake, I think for Michael Keane's sake as well, because you look at how much Michael Keane's come on in the short space of time that he's been partnered with Kurt Zouma. Well, and quite interestingly, and Gerry, you've never actually brought it up, but the fact that they're both right-footed as well, and it worked. Yeah. It worked fine. There's not really a problem with it. I mean, we have alluded to it maybe sometimes that there may be a lack of speed, but performances like that on Sunday, they make up for it with just how dominant they are, winning aerial duels, winning tackles, playing good football. They're all really good indicators, and I want to see him become an Everton player permanently at the end of the stretch.
I was expecting our guys to get torched by Zaha speed-wise. I was just expecting it. Keane to get blown away. I actually watched Keane break Zaha down and contain him on the side, on the flank one time. And I was sitting there thinking, okay, well, that's just a different guy, isn't he? And I do think this partnership with Zouma has helped. So, Terry, go into a little bit of Zouma's strengths and weaknesses as you've noticed. I mean, certainly you hear rumors about players, and I guess just kind of pushing that to the side and thinking about from your own experience this season watching him play.
I mean, I don't know about weaknesses. It's a bit early. He hasn't really been at fault for any mistakes or anything like that. I mean, I just echo what Max said. He seems to be a fantastic player, and he's got everything. He's got pace. He's got strength. He's definitely got strength. I don't mean pace and he's got electric speed, but he's got a good turn of pace. Sylvain Distin was not a fast player, and he's the one everyone compares him to, just physically, because they're both beasts. But he was always in the right position at the right time. He could read the game very well, and when he needed a turn of pace, he needed to get himself out of danger. He often could, because physically he was just a very, very athletic player, and I think Zouma's got a bit of that about him. Weaknesses, because he's decent with the ball as well, not in the sense of John Stones level playmaker for a centre back, but he doesn't just look to shift the ball on whenever he gets it, like afraid to have it. He looks for the better pass. He's got a good relationship with Luca Dean on the left-hand side. Always looks to find him with the ball. He obviously was the one who found Sigurdsson for that wonder goal away at Leicester. Yeah, I mean, no weaknesses as of yet. Still very early days, but as Max said, I think he'll be top of the to-do list. Looking to bring him in the summer. Now, people are a little bit like, it's. I think Max even alluded to it. Then it's not. It's a loan deal with no view to buy. But there's two things I just want to remind people of with that. One, we was very late that we came in for him, and things like that might have delayed the deal and added some time that we didn't have on to agree. multi-million-pound transfer fee that we would have been locked in legally bound in contracts. It may be that, yeah, we're okay, we're open to you looking to buy him, because when he was brought in, that was like 2 managers ago, which is Chelsea. So he hasn't really got a place here. He was at Chelsea. He's on loan last season. He's on loan this season, but we haven't got the time to sort a deal out. Come back to us if you like him, and we'll sort something out. Plus, what a lot of people haven't mentioned is the rules are changing, I think, next year with regards to loan players. I don't think you're allowed to have. I think there's the Premier League are chopping it down now, where you can't have a massive amount of players out on loan from next season. Which you can now, where Chelsea famously have got about 40 players out on loan.
So many kids they just push out all over the world.
And I think they've got to chop it down to like a maximum of 4 or 5. I mean, don't quote me on that number, but in the summer they're going to be looking at, we need to move on a lot of players, and Zouma will be one of the more sellable assets who they'll be able to get money for. So, he's already at a club. He's an international, so that'll come with a premium, and he's not in our plans. He was bought like 3 managers ago. I think he might be the first one out the door at Chelsea, because he'll have been told, yeah, sorry, we're not going to use you, but Everton like you, Everton want you, and Everton can afford you, which will probably not be as much as people think, considering they need to shift these players.
Yeah, I guess the question for me, because I know we talked before, there are times when we've had some people on the pod and on the show where they've said, he concerns me in terms of I'm worried he's got a mistake in him. In the back, there are times where he doesn't look the most assured. Okay? I've heard people say that. I haven't really seen any evidence of that this season very much, though. He's not putting us in a lot of compromising positions very often.
No, but two things for me in terms of weaknesses. Firstly, it'd be that composure on the ball. I've said it myself sometimes. It just got a kind of essence of Mamadou Sakho about him, and I don't know, that might be the right foot, left foot thing coming into play, where he possibly having to always try and shift it over onto his right foot, so he could be a little bit off balance. And say, as you said, though, it certainly hasn't put us in any deep water. If it has, I'm sure he's had enough about him to recover it and kind of settle things. The second thing, and that goes for Michael Keane too, pet peeve, I just wish they'd be a bit more accurate with the attacking headers. The ball just seems to bounce off parts of the head, and they're really good chances when you look at them objectively, like from corners, from crosses. Defensively, I don't think it matters so much.
They like sail so often. You see them getting under it and not getting on top of it, because typically attacking headers, you want to head down. And you see them kind of just meeting it, and it just sails over, and it's just not a threat. And he's in position. Him and Keane both are in position to get those goals often. Yeah. I'm wondering if that's just continuing to build the chemistry in training.
And possibly, drill the life out of them with heading drills and putting it where you want it. Hopefully that's an issue that resolves itself with time. And if it is, I feel like there could be a real threat from set pieces there then.
So the question, to wrap all of this up, because I worry this is the big question here. He's increasing his value here. Okay? He is. The price should be going up based on the fact that he's playing really well for us. He's proven that he can start in the Premier League at a level. So regardless, that makes him valuable to a certain extent. So with us already having Mina, Keane, and Holgate in the stables, they're back there. How much is too much to pay for Zouma? Because we all want him, but if they're trying to just gouge us, where do we say, sorry, Chelsea?
I mean, I don't think they can do that just because of the position they're going to be in. Like I said before about the loan deals, I think we'll probably get him for 25-30, which sounds like a lot, but it's what we paid for Michael Keane.
I think if we can get him for that, Terry, that's a steal. That's just flat out robbery right now.
Under normal circumstances, he would go for more than that, but I think Chelsea can't afford to be picky. I think they know that they need to get rid of him, and that's a probably sound return on their investment for a player they're not going to use. I could be wrong. Hope I'm not. Could go higher than that, but I mean, how much did Mina cost? Was it 30?
Yeah, it was 30.
30, and we had competition for that from Lyon and
Manu.
Supposedly from United, yeah.
And think about how high his stock was from the World Cup. So if we're getting him for that, I would imagine 25-30, which some people will say, oh, that's too much because there's no one else in for him. But if Jagielka, so a lot of people expect, will see out his contract at the end of this year, then either move on or go into coaching or the media or whatever, I think bring Zouma in and you've got a good, strong four there with varying different skills. You've got Holgate, Mina, Keane and Zouma, all good age. You can build around that. I mean, yeah, I don't see why not. I don't think Chelsea are going to be in a position to ask for any more unless someone else comes in for him. But then if Zouma's been here and playing and back in the France squad for this year, is he going to want to go anywhere else? I mean, I can't see a Champions League team coming in for him. And you never know. It's a long season. Could get even better, and then you are worried about someone else coming in. But at the minute, I think probably about paid for Keane would be enough to get him.
Yeah.
Sorry, too much would be 40 plus. I mean, I don't really mind any of the prices because I just look at prices are now just almost irrelevant. So, but too much should probably be 40 plus because I think we'd have been had over a barrel by Chelsea if we went that high.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm willing to go to like 35. You know what I mean? Like, because I think he's proven he can be a starter, and that's something worth paying for. Somebody who can perform and is a starter. By the way, the Gerry Mina was there also was a buyback clause inserted, I think, and that drove the price down some. Yeah, I don't know how much, but I think that usually if teams insert that, you can get people for cheaper. Max, are you about where we are on that?
That's funny actually, because I think you kind of hit what the fees that I would say right on the head. I'd say upwards of 40, and I think we probably shy away from it. It's astonishing to me in this market the valuation of defensive players in comparison to the valuation of attacking players, because say Kurt Zouma was a winger who has an equally positive impact on the side, his valuation would be a lot more than 30-40 million. So it's very, and as Terry said, the figure that also that becomes the ultimate half the time kind of is almost like an anomaly of a figure. It just becomes so bizarre that to the point where it doesn't matter. But yeah, 30 between 30 and 40 million is what I could see us paying for him. And I think obviously if this form becomes consistent and if this actualises to what he actually is as a player, and the idea, the performances that he puts in, week out, and he certainly seems to have a kind of a positive effect around the club as a whole, because he seems like a good member of the dressing room to have about. So yeah, I think 30-35 is what we should be paying for him.
He seems happy. Seems like he gets along with everybody.
It's his middle name.
Yeah, it's going to stay happy. It's his middle name.
It doesn't even seem happy. He is. All right.
He is happy.
I forgot about that. Accidental. All right. So yeah. so I guess the thought thinking is right now, pretty early in the game still, admittedly, we need to be thinking about a permanent move at some point, probably in the spring. So, yeah. So I guess that's it on Kurt Zouma, guys. So if you've been digging the videos, please subscribe. We're hovering around 1260 on the subs, so thank you for that. If you want to branch outward past our show, you can find some analysis of Max's on the Toffee Blues website, but he also shows up on other podcasts and stuff like that. You should check his Twitter timeline for that. So if you want more Terry, you can check his Twitter timeline. He'll be telling you where he'll be showing up. Yeah, often on the Liverpool Echo fan jury. I've read some of his stuff on there. It's good, so check him out. All right. I guess that's it for now. We're gonna. That's all for our video segments for this little stretch of the week. We're gonna move on to a quiz if you know your history. So if you're on the video, switch over the pod. If you're on the pod, just keep a listening. Stay tuned. All right. Yeah. So I guess that's it. Let's go to quiz time. Bye.